Hi, this is my biography recorded. I tried to do it in YouTube and get my little picture there and could never get it to upload right. So I'll go back to my old way. This is my self portrait that I did of myself quite a few years back as a Mona Lisa. So I used to teach appropriating images, and we all did images in oil paint. And this is the one that I did of myself. Might as well do something that you think is fun. All right. When I grew up, I never thought of myself as being an artist. My mom was the artist, and she won a lot of big awards. So, not me. I wasn't going to grow up and be an artist like some of you may have planned to be. My dad was a dairy farmer, and I grew up in the country with cows and cats and dogs and animals around. And so, I'm sure that really influenced my life a lot. That I thought I was going to be a teacher. Everybody that I knew thought they would be moms and teachers, some nurses, but typical female roles. And even though the 60s changed things, you did what you saw around you. You thought what you were going to be was what you saw. So, thinking I was going to be a teacher, I played school a lot. So, this is a personal narrative about me as growing up as a child. And I take my dog and push her in the baby buggy, and I would dress her in clothes and play with my toys and play school. So I wanted to write books when I got into high school and went into college and I studied journalism, not art. And it wasn't until I almost had graduated and had already had my son that I decided to take art. And so I had to wait and get my art degree on top of that. After I graduated, my brother was just starting to school later in his life. He was a disabled vet. So he was going to take art appreciation. Listen, all you art appreciation people. And I talked him out of it and I got him to take an art class instead. And it was sculpture and he loved it. And so he got a degree in sculpture. And you may not be able to tell what this is, but this is a hat over here in the corner. And these are coveralls. When my daughter went to school, she got her degree from SFA, and she too is a sculptor. This is one of her pieces. I live in the country. Again, the country influencing my life, and my house is actually looks something like a red barn. And this is as far out as I can get without having an acreage. I had an acreage when we lived in Sanger, but when I lived up here, I paid for my whole place with cash and built onto the house. So did my house myself. And I live in between Granbury and Glenrose. And this is what you see out my back porch. And as I taught at TCC, um, got farther along, I decided to buy a travel trailer. And this is important because I can go to different workshops which I've been around the country to several different places. And every summer, even after that, I go to the mountains in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and spend as much time as there as I can to escape the heat. Only I couldn't do it this year with COVID. And my grandchildren live really close by, and they're a year apart. Iris is older, and they're Irish twins. They're born on the same day, a year apart. This is my doggies. They travel everywhere that I go, and Boogie's in the back. She is licking her feet and wouldn't want to sit up. Pumpkin is to the left, then Tootsie Pop's in the middle, and Rapscallion or Rapsy is the white Westie on the right. All right, so animals again. This is from one of my digital artworks. I started as a joke, painting them with my digital class. Painted one of a Westie first, and everybody thought it was really funny and good. So, in being influenced by that, I try to make my jokes better and better. And about 4 summers ago, I did 100 paintings in 100 days. And I told my students I was going to do that, and I logged it all online. And so when I got back, I asked for an art show and the next fall. And when I went to print them in the summer, I didn't like them. So I printed them on canvas and painted on top of all of the digital prints and got them to the point where I liked the color better. I like the texture; they look more like paintings. So that's what you see here. Of course, dogs' teeth fall out, their tongues hang out of their mouths. So there's my toothless in Seattle. Um, they're all based on popular culture like pop art or actual dog paintings. Um, this one is from an Instagram that I put him into that, and I wanted to come up with something funny that Dr. Bear was saying. Dr. Bear is my pseudonym, and I have the website with Dr. Bear, and he goes around the world and buys artwork painted about dogs, painted by dogs. And then I have books written about dogs by dogs, etc., in my doggy dog world. And that's what Dr. Bear is saying. Franklin D. Roosevelt is Wolfie Eye Candy. Um, then this is Cuppertiti. Cuppy was one of my chihuahuas, and this is all painting. This is not digital, so I can do both. These are collage pieces of different textured papers that I've made, and this is aluminum foil. Um, this is cardboard. This is actually clay cardboard. So she's not a digital piece. She's a three-dimensional piece. And I have some more of those that I'd like to finish. I just have so many things going on. There she is again, show you the difference. This one is part digital and part painting, and that's from a Manet. Of course, there's a Van Pug or Van Gogh, how I chewed off my own ear. And then here is another Manet, and I really love the dogs in it with the stern face girl dog at the front and her husband laughing in the background at the opera. Um, this is not the only thing that I do. I primarily, when I paint, I do watercolor abstracts and I compete with them in shows, and they're fresh. So lively, I usually do quite well with them in art shows. You can't really compete with digital. Artists don't trust it. They don't think they're real art. It's just like when photography first came out, people didn't consider it real art. So my paintings are what I do. And I also then have my children's books. So I did a couple indie books. And this is Teddy Bear, and Teddy Bear with the hundreds and hundreds of pictures I took of him to do the book caused me to have more dogs than I knew what to do with. And then thus led to my dog painting. So everything is going to happen for a reason there. That this was my first one that I did, and I did get it published in about 2001, 2002, and the company went bankrupt that bought the book from me, signed the contract and everything, but I still didn't get anything paid because I don't even know if they sold any because they went out of business. So I did this one as an indie book as well. And I am rewriting 5 books, or have written 5 books. Took a class this summer and another one this spring when I'm publishing, and one for writing for beginning readers. And this is one that I rewrote as a children's book and changed the story a lot. So I will use some of the pictures and be painting new ones. So I have 5 books, a couple graphic novels in the works, 5 books already written. It just takes time to illustrate, and I've spent so much time making my classes. Now I get to paint and paint with you. So hopefully we'll do some really fun things. And if you decide you want to try doing your bio as a video, feel free. Otherwise, it has places where you can add images if you want. And I will see you in class, and we will have great fun together.